Hey everyone, continuing on with the theme of adding more tropical plants to my garden. I showed you this alocasia at the end of my last video, and now you're going to find out what I'm going to do with it. This is a gorgeous plant, and they don't get super huge like the elephant ear. That's right there. I love them. We're gonna do something with some of them too. But it does provide a tropical backdrop. So my plan is that, look at how many plants are in here first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here's a little one here, 7. And then in this pot, there's 1, 2, 3. So we got a lot of plants to work with. Back here, where I'm trying to create more of a tropical privacy wall across the back, behind where my butterfly pea is, which provides a pretty dense screen, but it's low, I can build a little deck back there and then pot those alocasia plants up so their pot tops, or their pot tops, their pot tops, the tops of their pots are just up right behind the top of the butterfly pea, so you won't really see the pots, but then the plants will stick up and voila, hopefully create a little tropical vibe there and add a little bit of screening. So let me get started and you'll see how it comes together. Speaking of butterfly pea, I just turned around and look who I see. That is a long-tailed skipper caterpillar munching on a leaf of a butterfly pea, which is its host plant. Honestly, y'all, that's the biggest one I've ever seen out and about. And as many of those as I get, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm not searching these plants because they don't bring them in and raise them. But that's so cool. Okay, let's get back to our project. So we have to come around through the back entrance and trip over things of my garden. We're back here by my windblown. Look at that leaf is still on here. This is from Hurricane Milton. And I should trim that off, but I don't know. I'm just going to let it fall off on its own. And my candlestick cassia and my American pokeweed. We're back in that corner. And I literally have to come back behind this little oak tree right here and work my way down to get to the space I want to work in. And look, I can already see there's a little spider web right here just waiting for me. Look at the passiflora incense growing down here. I've been coming out on the outside of this fence and finding the pieces of it and pulling them up and stringing them. I strung this one up like a week or so ago, and it's really grown a long way. And just FYI, while we're here, these little ends are where the zebra longwings lay their eggs. So that's what I'm always checking for eggs to bring in, which I don't see any on here. They lay them in a cluster, so there would be a whole bunch of them and you would see them. But that's where you look if you're ever looking for any. Gulf fritillaries, they'll lay their eggs like in the center of a leaf here and there, one at a time. Okay, moving on. Let's get back to our plan. But this is a butterfly gardening channel, so when we have a chance to chat about something, we chat. So let's see. Lift this up and step through. There better not be Mr. Black Snake back here. Now I'm going to lift this one up. Look at this. Elephant ear is doing so beautifully back here. I'm waiting for him to get tall. Remember I staked it up because the whole thing was blown over? I bet I can take these out and use them somewhere else now. Yeah, look, it's staying upright. Ooh, that's fabulous. Let's get this one too, because I love using these little trellises all over my garden, wherever needed. Okay, so now I have to get around this plant. Go this way. Okay, and back here is where I'm gonna build my little deck. And I'm gonna use milk crates and wood planks to do it, and then I'll set the pots up on top. And look at all this pumpkin vine. I call this pumpkin vine. I don't really know if that's what everybody calls it, but I call it that because when it gets those little flowers on it, they look like pumpkins, but it's extremely like invasive, and but it's also really easy to pull out. Also back here, this is a snowberry, and I want to move it out because it's going unseen back here. So I'm going to first jig this up and move it out and put it over in the Garden of Snow and Fire. And then I'll come in and build my deck, because if I build my deck, this will be covered up, and I want this to be able to grow and be seen. Am I allowed to do another deviation from the plan? Because there's a plant here I want to show you. It's a host plant. It is the cowpea, and it's a host too. I think the gray hair streak and the Durante skipper, and it's blooming right now. So y'all want to pause and see that, because you do. I had this cowpea, which is the one with these 3 leaves, planted back here on a trellis, and it did not want to live on the trellis. So it moved itself over to the fence, and I thought it was gone. I thought it just didn't want to live at all in my garden, but no, it moved itself to the fence. But look at the flowers. Aren't they beautiful? This is the cowpea, in similar family to the butterfly pea, which is why it also hosts a skipper, but also the gray hair streaks. And those are beautiful little butterflies. I love them. So fabulous. I'm glad I saw this and got to share it with you. Now let's get back on task. We're going to go dig up that snowberry. You know, I was coming through that way, but honestly, like, I've got these wild petunias growing here, but they're a ground cover, so I should be able to tromp through them and make a little shortcut. Look, here's where I laid my trellises. Go ahead and grab those. And, like, sneak out here through my Kunti, which I should be checking. Y'all, everywhere I go now, like, I'm like my husband, park by the Kunti at Publix. Our Publix has, like, those little parking lot planter things, and some of them are full of Kunti, and I check every time. But I haven't been lucky enough yet to find any caterpillars. Okay, first, I'm gonna dig out the hole where I'm gonna put the snowberry, so that way when I get out of the ground, I can just come over and plop it in. So I've got my snowberry out. It really, it's playtime. Let me get out of the way. Are you good, sir? Can I get back in the walkway? This root ball is surprisingly small, because this plant has been there for a little while. So I'm just gonna put it back on the shovel and carry it over and plop it right down in the hole I dug, and then get it some water right away. Okay, there you go. Now let's go build the deck. When I say deck, I mean literally this, some milk crates and a chunk of wood. And in this case, I'm glad I have some of these black milk crates because they'll be easier to camouflage, because the other ones I have are white, and you probably see those through the butterfly pea more. So I'm just literally going to move this whole setup down there, except I think I'm going to do it 2 milk crates high. My helpers. Okay, there's my deck. It's 2 milk crates high. And what I like about those milk crates is they stack, so they lock in. I say that and they're not locked. There, they lock in to each other, and it makes them a little bit more stable. Okay, let's go get those plants potted and line them up on the little deck and see how they do. They only get 3 or 4 feet tall, which is why I want a riser below them so they can come up even higher and create a privacy screen. So it looks like I'll be able to fit 4 pots back there, and I have 4 pots. Let me go get 4 plants. All right, so I'll take these 2. I'll just grab this pot. Is it gonna come out? Maybe I'll just pull them out. Nope, there we go. All right, we'll start with these 2. You know what? I changed my mind because the other ones are bigger. So we're gonna put those aside for a minute. Let me go get the other ones. Yeah, these ones are definitely taller. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how easily they're gonna come out. Oh, okay, so it broke off. I'm gonna try planting it. This will be our test one, and then I'll be more careful digging the other ones out. Okay, because these have such a long stem before it gets up to where the green part is, I'm gonna switch to the taller ones, but I'm gonna do a larger grouping in one, so the plant leaves will still be able to fan out and fill space, and I'll do 2 large pots. I wonder how many more times I'm gonna change my mind as I go. Don't you love my channel? Okay, so I've got a layer of soil in. I'm going to set this one in, and I'm going to go grab a couple more. I got the whole cluster. Gonna grab my little trimmers and clean it up a little bit. Oh, this is gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. What do you think, Ringo? Is it gonna be good? Okay, I trimmed off all this, but I kind of shoved it down in there so it can decompose in there as it would in nature, because nobody's gonna see that part of it anyway. And I do believe it is ready to place in its new space. Let's do a quick before shot. Okay, here's before. And here is after. That's one plant in there. Now imagine, now that that's sitting in all that good rich soil and it's going to get spoiled rotten, it's going to fill in at the base. There's already some little leaves coming up, but it's kind of blocking it. All right, let's get another plant back there. See how that does. All right, the second pot is in, and now that other little smaller plant I'm going to move in on the end. It's making a difference. It's adding a little filtered privacy, and it still has a lot of growing in to do. You know how I leave tags on a lot of things? So when I was transferring this in, this popped out of the pot. Is that not something? So there it is, Alocasia. Is that California? Yep. And look at the price. I wonder if that's still how much it costs. I mean, this has been back in the corner of my garden for years, so that's fabulous. California elephant ears. All right, let's go get this one back there. But first, we'll just tuck that down there. That's exactly what I must have done with it when I bought it, because that's exactly how it was in the other pot, just shoved down on the side. And here we are with the third one up there. And look at that. So when they fill in, and my little wild black cherry tree beside it, which is going dormant but putting out new growth at the same time, I don't know what it's doing. It's all because of Hurricane Milton. But when that gets full, and then we've got that, we're making a little progress, I think. A little progress. I like it. Especially over here, you can see how that does a little bit of blocking of the fallen down little shed back there. Because without that there, you'd see the whole thing, so. All right, you guys, well, that wraps up this little project. On to what's next. What is next? What should I do in tomorrow's video? What do you want to see tomorrow? Yes, there'll be a Friday video. I still haven't planned it yet, so anything's possible. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next video. Tap the like button, subscribe, and join the Milkweed crew. Bye-bye.